All right, welcome back. Here we are at the lower finals. Danny and tybu versus Enforcer and Patrick. Should be a banger. We did not see this because Enforcer and Patrick were on the top half of the bracket. That's going to be a goal early on, maybe. Nothing like a 2-second goal jump scare. But we very rarely see tip-offs go straight for the net. Only when I'm playing. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. That's a concussion for sure. Oh, Danny, quick, tell me how many fingers I'm holding up. Ooh. He just clipped the side of his head. It's going to give him a ringing ear sound, I guess. 1-0 early on for Enforcer and Patrick, thanks to the rim being right in the way. Oh, chase here from tybu. He had the boost. I don't know why he didn't get it. Was it a fake? Maybe he thought that like another touch was just bad. That's a nasty shot, though. He made up for it. But Danny, playing super far back, gives it right to tybu. Something I'm noticing about this Danny and tybu team is they kind of play zones. Like, Danny plays the orange half of the court, and tybu plays the blue half of the court. It happens maybe too often. Like, Danny, he feels like he's out of position when he's on the opponent's backboard and he rushes back, and tybu kind of just hangs out wherever, infiltrating all the time. Doesn't have enough boost to get to that one. Danny, though, looked like he wanted to set a pass to a backboard tybu, but I think tybu made the correct choice, fight over the boost instead. A goal apiece so far. tybu looking for two. Easy enough there for Patrick to get from the backboard, launching it all the way across, even having an opportunity, a shot filling up on boost too. Got a lot of value out of that. Just couldn't quite finish it. This efficiency is a huge deal too. Like, you know, how does Patrick and Enforcer move when they've got a full tank of boost and they've got space versus how did Danny and tybu do it when they've got space and a full tank of boost? Completely different philosophies. Patrick and Enforcer just want a couple of quick touches. So far, it's paying off. Danny and tybu go for these much slower, high-flying dribbles with lots of tricks. So when they're up there, you don't know if they're going to try to bump you, if they're going to try to get a reset, if they're just going to dribble higher and higher, maybe go to the ceiling with it. There's a lot of opportunities, but Enforcer and Patrick just, when they've got possession of the ball and they think they've got a fast break, they're going to try to really crunch it. That's not enough to be a sidewall shot. Patrick going to wait patiently underneath for the 50 here. 3 cars underneath, making a real mess of things, and that is just floating in. Patrick gets the save, though. It's still dangerous. Oh, tybu gets the dunk. It floating there is just, it floated too long. They don't have the boost, though, to contest it. So I guess it's really the war of attrition that won the goal over. Is this Champ 3? I heard that Ian is plat, so I think these guys are probably gold. I think that's how that works. I don't know. You should play in a tournament, and you could be our thermometer, our gauge for determining the skill level of these players. Danny to Enforcer. He's going to push this one back. Tries to bump tybu on the way down. That's a sick idea. Yeah, it's pretty hard for Enforcer to get around that. Send that over towards the net, but 0 boost here for Danny and tybu, and Patrick is going to really abuse the situation. Oh, the passing play! I thought Enforcer was just being a bully here. I mean, he is, but he's like a ruled 0 on the wall. tybu's like, wait, I gotta save this. And Enforcer's like, fine. I'll just score it then. That's so good. At the halfway mark, Enforcer and Patrick right now are a force to be reckoned with. Coming up with some really creative ideas. Ooh, maybe a bit of panic there for Enforcer. Not really sure. Oh, no. That put him in a bad spot. Easily bumped by tybu to get the tying goal. Back and forth, back and forth. Oh, not to skimp over the fact that Enforcer and Patrick beat their rivals in that last match. Because, wait, now, is that right? Hold on, I gotta look it up now. I thought, no, never mind. Enforcer and Patrick beat Amos, Waffle, and Drago twice in this tournament. Never mind. They got knocked out by 4-4-5, so maybe they'll be looking for some vengeance here as Patrick gets another goal, bumping Danny out of the way. That's what I mean on those dribble plays. Very uncharacteristic for Patrick to go for a slow dribble, but it shows he's no slouch. tybu looked like he wants to go for this dribble. He's going really fast, having to pre-flip into that one to lift it up into the air. That's a great shot here from Danny. It just goes off the front of the rim, though. But it gives it back to tybu. tybu with just a lob of a shot. Still, the defense has to react, and that loses the boost in the corner for the defense. tybu and Danny both chasing this on the retreat. Let's see if Enforcer can utilize this. No, he just gives it away to a zero boost player. Patrick bounces over to tybu on 100 boost. Ooh, that breaks. I swear to you, the superpower, the guaranteed way. Oh, yeah, he uses it as well. The guaranteed way to not get bumped or demo is to hit the brakes or to go in reverse. And tybu showcasing that. Look, there's so much space, too. Like, the player is just not able to react in time because of the client server side delay. And tybu turns it around into a dribble. That bump has to hit in order for the goal not to be scored. Now in the final 90 seconds, all tied up 1-1. A kind of off-center tip-off for Danny gives it right to tybu. It's interesting. Some slight changes in tip-off strategy as Patrick gives it to tybu. tybu tries to lock it down into this corner. Enforcer still got some boost, but can't get there in time. The shot, though, is way off. That gives Patrick and Enforcer with full boost tanks. They get possession. A massive bicycle flick. Here's the shot from Patrick. It's too low. He knew he had to avoid the bump. Enforcer is blocked. It goes back to Patrick. Patrick needs one more dunk. No boost here for Danny, so you know he was nervous, just trying to guess where Patrick can put that. And instead, it goes back to Enforcer. And that is once again the fragile one-goal lead here for the blue team. Starving out Danny and tybu of boost over and over again seems to be the winning strategy. But let's see if this is like all the other times where the one goal does not last for any time at all. Friendship favoring orange. Patrick, though, really good first touch for him, lifting it all the way up so that only he could get it using the back wall to lift himself. It's a 50-50. Oh, it's scary. It rolls right down the rim. tybu might have enough boost to make the shot here. Patrick throws in some interference, but orange team is still on the move. Patrick to the backboard, chasing. Gets one touch. A full retreat here for tybu. He goes to the ceiling over this. Does he have a touch? I don't know if that's a good one, though. Danny really wanted to go for some sort of dribble. They need something. That's a great touch. Just getting huge distance. So now tybu has to make it with this dribble. It all comes down to this. So the start of the must, he's dropped it. Enforcer with the double touch. It's saved away by Danny at the goal line. Is it greed, though, to try to go for a shot at a time like this? Maybe not. That's the first game here for Enforcer and Patrick. That's a huge deal. tybu and Danny taking them down is a massive feat. 4 goals for tybu. That goes to show that team dynamic, but tybu is an absolute incredible player. Feels like he can do everything, but he also feels like a player that if you're playing on his team, you have to like play around him. Like you want him to have the opportunities to go for the dribble plays. But because of that, tybu, he's got it like in his head where he has to play at breakneck speeds at all times. And feels like he's stepping over some of Danny's opportunities as well, where Danny might have had a better situation. Enforcer, oh, that's a scary save. But it lifts it right up to Danny. tybu tries to drop that one on the redirect. That is a great strategy there. Drop it straight. Low shot. Maybe the defense had it covered, though. Little lift there. It's just enough to go up and over. We've got some great shots coming out from Danny and tybu in the first 30 seconds. Looks like it might finally be time for blue team to have some offense. Enforcer pushes it back. Oh, the bump! Did tybu get a reset off of Enforcer's car? Oh, man, I'm almost sad we don't get to see that replay. Enforcer doesn't get the touch. The bump onto tybu. What a save. Patrick struggling to save this. He'll get the follow-up, though. He's dribbling around. It's pushed away by tybu. Doesn't have the follow-up, though. That means Enforcer gets in for the 50. It bounces really nice for him here. How does he use that side flip for the front of the net shot? Enforcer's camping out there, hoping for the pass. It almost makes it to him. tybu really had to stretch to get that block, but I think he knew Enforcer was camping. Here's Enforcer for the shot. Looks low. Patrick has to go back and play defense. I guess in the same way that... oh, hold on. Yeah. That's a horrible bounce on the rim. What can you even do here as Patrick? I guess you have to read it. He's got enough boost to handle this. If he goes straight for it, right? If he jumps knowing the ball is going to bounce directly overhead. I think he expected it to bounce inward. And so that misread cost everything. But yeah, in a similar way... oh, I'm never going to get to finish this because it's another goal here off of the tip-off, just straight in. No, it's a 50. A little bit lucky there for Enforcer and Patrick, but you can't complain. You take what you can get. Anyway, Patrick likes to play on the blue half, and Enforcer likes to play on the orange half. I mean, likes to play in the front half of the court, and Patrick likes to play in the back half. So a lot of Patrick's opportunities stem from either Enforcer. Another goal here. tybu chips it to the backboard off of the net. Oh, I didn't even notice the camera. He must have known that Patrick didn't have the touch. I didn't know from seeing that camera perspective. Another friendship here. Yeah, Patrick plays back, and a lot of his opportunities either are from Enforcer causing so much chaos that Patrick just has the free one shot into an open net, or a dangerous shot. Here's Enforcer, though. Goals are raining down right now. Enforcer. Is that another 50? Oh my gosh. Both of their goals are goals you can't really count on if it goes to game 3. But Enforcer is definitely more of an infiltrator sort. Loves to get behind, cause a ruckus with bumps and boost steals and passing plays. And I don't think any player positions better for passes than Enforcer does. Man, never mind. Patrick maybe taking one out of Enforcer's book. That's so good. That's exactly the kind of passing play that has to work in order to score. It needs to be in a spot where your teammate can still rush to get there, but then they can still reach. Man, Patrick kicks away. Here's Enforcer. Dribble up, pinch. Maybe one more. He's low. He's going to lob it upward, but that means Danny's going to have an easy time to save that. 3-2. Oh, he's going! He jumps immediately, had a lot of boost to spare as well. But fortunately, the defense was ready for that. But the defense is not ready for the follow-up here. Enforcer is so far away. He lands and then just turns. He goes back to orange half. I guess he expected Patrick to have this. It's just too far. Tie game again. Corner tip-off position so far. Like, this one resulted in an Enforcer goal last game. Or last time. Again? 2 for 2? So 6 goals ago, Enforcer scored in a very similar way. How do I say your name? Can I call you Dill? How'd you find out about Ranked Hoops? We are nearly finished with this tournament. This is the lower finals, so after this is the grand finals, and that's it. That's all we get tonight until next week. If you want to play, you are more than welcome. That is every Sunday starting at 7 p.m. I think next week is another 2v2. For the week after that, who knows? Big pinch here. A launch from tybu is going to give it to Patrick. No. It's lobbed upward. Here's Danny. Down to Enforcer. Over to Danny again. Pushes back to Enforcer. Is intercepting here. Looked like he wanted to pass to Patrick. That would have been huge. You see Patrick was positioned for it as well, aiming his car forward with a full tank. Enforcer and Patrick could take it here. Danny and tybu have been playing good, but it's just hard to contend with all the boost steals and the bumps that Enforcer has been doing. Off the 45, Patrick's trying to read it, but he's just too late. I think he could have gone. He could have committed for that, but he had 20 boost or something like that. And maybe it's, when you have the lead, it's best to just hunker down on defense. Don't go for anything risky. 0 boost here for Enforcer. He's going forward for it. We've seen him get burned by that before, but this time Patrick holds on to the net. Just 1 minute to go for Danny and tybu to make the comeback here, as Patrick doesn't have the follow-up touch. Instead, it's Enforcer backflipping that one. But it goes off the front of the rim. I still think that would have been saved, but it would have been tense for the defense for sure. Speaking of rims, the defense will hold Patrick to the backboard. It's always best to stay clear of the backboard if you're attacking, unless you know that the opposition can't get there in time. You definitely don't want to 50 it against your opponents on the backboard, because that just always goes across the court, and that's going to be a fast enough shot here. The fast break. Danny catches the pass from tybu, lands on the sidewall, and then just snaps the shot so fast. To the ceiling. One shot here is just not enough. They don't make enough boost at the beginning of the game to put that shot on. Danny, though, is going to have the double here. Uncontested, the blue team left their net open for so long. Suddenly, Danny and tybu look like they're going to be able to take this game, snatch it from the jaws of defeat. It's not over yet, though. Is this the same kickoff? No. I think that's next kickoff. Maybe not. Maybe it's the kickoff after that. Enforcer not going to be able to score off of this 50-50. Danny is feeling very confident as he goes to the ceiling, trying to get that block. It looks like the defense is going to hold. There's not a lot Patrick can do. Just has to keep the ball up now. Doesn't get the double touch. Instead, gives it over to Danny, but he gets a lot of height on that. That might be good here for Enforcer and Patrick, as Enforcer might have one more shot. tybu is behind it, and he kicks it away. Good defense there from tybu. We go to game 3. I completely forgot to shout out Ian there and Mex John. I'm so sorry. 42 months for Ian. That is absurd. It's over 3.5 years. It is mind-boggling. And then Mex John says, ah! I really want to know how that sounds in the compressor. I'm learning a lot about audio in the last week. The compressor, once you've reached a threshold, the compressor activates, and it tries to jam your audio down back into the threshold level. So basically, if you go too loud, the compressor brings you back down to levels that don't break people's eardrums. Game 3. That last game was a real nail-biter there. tybu stuck with it until the bitter end. You love to see it. Because they had to play against 4-4-5 when they were at a 3-goal deficit as well. It looked like they just kind of gave up. I guess this game, though, it was pretty neck and neck. Patrick is just annihilated here. Lands back down to get a 50-50, though. Just circumstantially. Patrick, no double for him. Instead, it's going to be turned around here. tybu looks like he wants to. Enforcer will just casually swipe that one away, no problem. 50s it into Danny for the shot here. It's saved away. Good patience there for Patrick. Not panic jumping into that. He knew he had enough time. The shot was not going to be speedy. Enforcer drops it. Goes back up. The backflip to get some distance, but it gives it right back to Patrick. Oh, Danny's in trouble. Oh, no, the recovery is... He still might have had a chance there, but everything went wrong for his recovery, right? He went to the ceiling, flipped over, and then neutral jumped, so he's going to take even longer to get back down to the ground. And then missed the wave dash. That's painful. That goal then, I mean, it feels like there are deserved goals in which the offense does some crazy move that the defense has never seen before, and it just goes in as a result. But there's also deserved goals where the defense makes a horrible mistake and it deserves to get punished. And this was one of those. It's not a good spot here for Enforcer. Great catch, though. Oh, and he goes over one. It's back to tybu on the backboard. Enforcer can't get past him. Backboard defense strong as ever. Maybe someday the hoops meta will change, but so far, in all 8 years of hoops or whatever, it's crazy to say that. In all 8 years of hoops, the backboard has always been the strongest place to play defense. Danny. Back to Patrick. Oh, the back pass to tybu here. Gets annihilated immediately. Does he read it? It's not a good read. Man, Danny, I think he wanted to hit that and still get the boost. And he hit it bad and didn't get the boost. And, oh, okay, that's not in. So he's still struggling here. He's picking up some 12ers. Trying to get some bumps. Patrick goes up for it. tybu with a teeny touch. Might set Danny up here for something. He goes the entire distance. There's no defense left. I did not expect this to be a pass that would score. I guess the 50-50 set up perfectly for Danny, and Enforcer was not ready for that. We see Enforcer camping the sidewalls a lot, and I think that's where it goes wrong, is like, if you're camping a sidewall, expecting a 50-50 to go some direction, and it goes out mid instead. Now you're just way out of position. But if a player is rolling around the corner, this is why Enforcer was on the sidewall to begin with. Danny was driving around that 45-degree wall. There's really, if he just gets a clean hit and Patrick doesn't get a touch, the only place that Danny can put that is along the wall. So, Enforcer's instincts, I think, were good, just need tuned a little bit, I guess, to see the 50-50. Maybe tell Patrick to back off. I don't know. Oh, he's chain wave dashing on the rim. I don't think he went anywhere. Oh, sad we didn't get to see that. If only, okay. If only the Patrick shot, if that was on target, like it felt like Enforcer completely had the backboard barricaded. Like there was no way the defense was going to be able to have the save from the backboard. So the defender went back down to the ground, and Enforcer got stuck on the rim trying to redirect the shot in. And if there was some world, if there was any player who could redirect that in from a wave dash onto the rim, it's Enforcer. I don't think there's any player more versed in rim shenanigans than Enforcer is. I see Ian like dabbling at it though, so be aware of that. That actually scores. I'll have to fire the cameraman again after this. We're going through cameraman too quickly. It's Danny's shot. Just snipes it right to the front of the net. The defense not expecting that. That's always a really good place to shoot it too. The spot right above the rim. If the backboard isn't defended, it's so hard to get that from lower down. Like the natural line you would go to save it, the rim prevents your access to it. And Enforcer's gonna sneak one in here with a 50-50, pinching it against the back wall and against his opponent. Let's see if there's maybe a way that tybu can prevent this. Somehow he pinches it right back into Enforcer. Enforcer right now is the king of 50s, making him look like 75s. Especially in the game that they won, right? Like Enforcer had like two of those goals in a very close game. Patrick lobs it sideways. He's trying to give the ball to Enforcer, but Enforcer's boost situation looks basically identical. Nice little boost take. Never mind. Gets removed. To the back wall. Patrick is being patient. Gets blocked though. That's a double commit. The pinch for Enforcer. Patrick is going to get smacked sideways before his dribble even begins. That's always jarring. Like when you've got some big plan. Like I'm going to be able to do this and then that and then this, and then it just gets shut down immediately by a car that you couldn't see smacking you across the court. This is a jump scare moment for sure. 20 seconds. Could be overtime. Ian, you got to remind me what the Enforcer effect is, because it might come into full swing. He's doing so good. But I think Ian knows something about Enforcer's overtime statistics, especially in the final game. Pushes sideways. Yeah, overtime we go. Is it all going to be over in the blink of an eye? Both teams on their last life. Whoever wins this moves on to the grand finals. The loser claims third place in this $100 tournament. A dribble here from tybu going across. Gets past one player. Almost bumps Patrick, but Patrick will take it. Instead, it's Danny now on the backboard. Can't get it past Enforcer either. Very high up. Enforcer takes that away, no problem, but you have to wonder if the defense can continue to hold. The boost situation looks really dire here. Enforcer rotates back on defense, gets another block. Patrick refills. That's a critical refill, but tybu and Danny have had plenty of blue team boost. Off the ceiling! That's gonna do it! Patrick and Enforcer move on thanks to a ceiling shot. That's crazy. We never see that. A big hero to Enforcer, removing the player that would have been able to defend that. GG's. Enforcer and Patrick move on to the grand finals. It's been a while since they've been there, I think. They're guaranteed at least second place, but have a shot at the trophy here if they can take out the 30 tournament undefeated team 445. That is a tall ask, but I mean, just maybe. If Enforcer and Patrick are playing their A game and Ian and Panda aren't feeling so good, just maybe. Now, Ian and Panda are going to have a game advantage in the grand finals. That's what you get for having our double elimination tournament and not losing a series. It doesn't go into a second match if Ian and Panda lose the series. Instead, they just get a game advantage. So we'll be right back with that, guys. I'm going to cut to a quick break and play the intro video. But until then, don't go anywhere.